Alrighty. Injury, Ziggy Hood has an elbow dislocation to get an MRI tomorrow. And Robert Davis had to go in concussion protocol.
Okay, Jay, from halftime until you guys went up 27-3, I think the Broncos got 36 yards of total offense. What about the effort and efficiency for defense today?
Yeah, played very well in all phases. Playing the run, getting after the quarterback, playing great pass defense. Very excited to see it. Last week we didn't give up a touchdown. They played great red zone defense. This week they carried it over and played great total team defense all the way across the board. So Coach Minuski called a great game. Defense followed up and made some big-time plays. 4 sacks. I think we forced 2 or 3 turnovers. Great to see.
Coach, when asked about the big picture, you've just been saying it's about the next game. Well, the next game's here, and you could finish 8-8. How important is it to you for you to finish without a losing record?
Well, it's important for a lot of reasons. One, everybody wrote us off and questioned the character and quitting, and I knew it wouldn't happen. Guys stepped up and played their tails off, and there's still a lot to play for. Playing a division rival on the road at Giant Stadium, I think these guys will be fired up, ready to play, try to get back to 8-8 and finish with 3 games in a row, 3-game win streak at the end of the year, which is important.
Could you talk a little bit about Samaje and his running the last 2 games?
Yeah, Samaje ran the ball hard today. Not a lot of holes there today, and every yard we gained was very tough, very difficult. They have very good defense over there at Denver, and he ran hard. The 4-minute drill fumble, that hurts. That's can't happen, and I think he knows that. But it was a good hit. But I like the way Samaje's running the ball and hitting the holes and trying to get the tough yards. Today was tough, though.
Jay, when you look at Kirk's performance, started slow, but what does it say about his mental makeup and maturity as a quarterback to be able to turn it around? And do you think maybe 2015, his first year starting, he's able to make that turn?
Well, I don't know about that. I think the more experience you get, the more comfortable you get, and the more you understand how much adversity is going to take place in the course of a ball game, in the course of a season, for that matter. And he's handled it extremely well. He handled it today. I think we had first 6 plays, we might have had a half a yard or minus 5 yards or whatever it was. So he just stuck with the plan, stuck with his reads and progressions despite getting a little bit of pressure. But I was very impressed with our offensive line, the way they protected for the most part against a great pass rushing front. And Kirk did a great job of getting the ball out of his hands to the open guys. And then on the flip side of that, the receivers and tight ends and backs did a nice job of making plays for him. But Kirk did a great job of overcoming the slow start.
Why challenge that fumble? I mean, you guys are facing 4th down. Is it just because you wanted to have the defense have another turnover, or just kind of what was going through your mind there?
You mean let them punt it or go for it? That's a silly question, isn't it?
No, yeah.
I got to challenge that. It was a fumble.
Yeah.
I actually won, by golly. Are you really questioning my decision to challenge that?
I just wanted to let
Well, I thought it was a fumble, so
yeah, I mean,
of course.
it was.
I want the
obviously.
ball for sure. And those guys want the forced fumble and the fumble recovery and gave us great field position. So be it. Did you challenge a fumble?
Jay, Jay, you ended up with 388 yards total offense. Only 2 teams have barely gotten more than that, and they were the Patriots and the Eagles. What was part of the game plan? What were you doing to find yardage there that nobody else has found against them?
Well, I think we tried to spread them out in different formations and get our tight ends matched up and try to get some man zone looks for Kirk, some tells. And at the end of the day, I can sit here and say it's a great play calling, but it's about the players, and the players stepped up and made some plays. They got to block Von Miller. They got to get open against Aqib Talib and Harris and all these great players that they have. And they did that. And Kirk made some great throws. They blew a coverage where Josh had a big-time touchdown, and Kirk found them. So it's a combination of a lot of things. I just think execution is the bottom line when it comes to getting yards on a great defense like that.
Coach, what can players like Zach Vigil, Ty, Chase Roulier, Capri, Ari do in these last games to help themselves and their futures?
Well, everything. I mean, anytime you step out and play a team like the Giants, all the experience you get, we keep it on film and we study it, we critique it and watch it, and it's it's an invaluable experience for these guys. Not to mention it's a blessing to be playing in the National Football League. So these guys are fired up. They're playing. They're taking advantage of their opportunities, and it's fun watching these guys play.
Was there a concerted effort to get Doxson that many targets, or was it just how the the game played out, and what did you make of his day?
Yeah, we always try to get Josh some targets. He's a great player, and I think he's growing, and he's going to get better and better. And I think that, the drop touchdown, I got to see it. I don't know if anybody got their hands on it, but, he's got to make that catch. And the other one, he got one hand on. I thought it was defensive holding, but they didn't call it, and then he got free on the long one. So Josh is going to get targets. He's one of our main guys out there. Ryan Grant had some big-time plays. Crowder had some big-time plays. Obviously, Vernon had the last one. So it's a good group of guys. Very undervalued by a lot of people, not by us.
After allowing 68 points in those two games, what has been the difference on defense that you've seen in the past two?
I just think the communication, number one, has been outstanding. We've had very little coverage breakdowns whatsoever. Every once in a while I see a guy get open to the flat. Somebody might not have got out there, but for the most part, we've eliminated the big plays, and we're sound in what we do. And every yard that the team has to get, they have to earn it. And they're going to make their yards, but at the end of the day, we force these guys to have these 10, 12, 14-play drives. Our guys are doing a good job of staying poised and getting off the field when it comes crunch time.
What did you just make of Ryan Kerrigan's day? 2 sacks.
Yeah, he's great, man. It's great. It's great. So happy that he made the Pro Bowl, and deservedly so. Usually, for some reason, he gets overlooked for whatever reason, but he's been a dominant player for this organization for a long time, and he showed again why he's such a valuable guy to this team.
Coach, what do you feel like you're accomplishing now that will carry over into next season? And the second part of that is, how difficult is that if your quarterback isn't here?
Well, I think we're accomplishing, just the standard that we set here. That's the number one thing. It's every week you come and prepare, and you play your tails off, and that's what the guys are doing. So we set a standard here with the veteran guys that we're going to have next year, and that's how it's got to be week in and week out, no matter what the circumstances are. So I'm happy these guys have followed through with it so far. We still have one more game to go, but as for Kirk, we'll worry about that when the season's over. We're going to coach him one more game here, and when the season's over, we'll deal with all that stuff when the time is right.
Some teams have given up at 6-8 when they get knocked out. Who are the leaders on offense and defense, veteran leaders especially, who have prevented that from happening?
Well, Kirk, obviously the quarterback, Trent Williams, despite being hurt, he's been in every meeting. He's still leading the group, and he's one of our captains. And Niles Paul, Vernon Davis, Brandon Sheriff, Morgan Moses, I got a lot of them, and they're just great guys to be around. Defensively, Swag has been a captain, and he maintains great energy at practice every week, even though he sometimes says we don't prepare good enough. But he does a good job, and obviously Josh Dorman comes to work, Kerrigan. I got a great group of guys here. People don't understand that, and I'm happy for all of them that their character has been on display these last couple weeks, and will be again next week, I hope.